I guess I am an addict. I am addicted, ridiculously inflicted with this need to write, and like many addictions, it causes strife because it consumes my days and it consumes my nights, and sometimes I feel like I shouldn't even be doing this. Standing here on a stage, projecting my voice in this gift. Choice is sometimes a curse, or even worse, because what if no one wants to hear my verse? Or what I'm all about? What if my words, well, what if they don't hold any clout? And so doubt builds and fills my OCD mind to try and find, to deliver landmines of poetic lines. But the explosion that arises compromises my confidence into pieces, because we clearly have had a different journey personally, which surely affects me poetically. And so I study and listen intently to the poets express it, the rest their message intact, brought it together with fact, built upon fact. And the subject matter, which sounds the same, well, it subtly begins to isolate me from this writing game, corrupting my brain, making me believe that I have nothing to complain about. Being that, well, I'm a white man in a white world. I'm the complaint, right? Not the complainer. And how dare I put my feelings to a strainer so that the confusion of my emotional arena would be easy to dissect? Do you think it was always easy for me, being that I didn't grow up in the street? Being that I always had shoes on my feet, being that I always had food in my stomach and a pantry full of snacks to eat, being that I have two parents that love me, being that I was fortunately, never sexually abused or beaten physically. But this is not the only meaning of the sum of the need for this burning need to express myself verbally. And so I begin my journey obsessively to write poetically and share myself expressively, regardless of the judgments cast by society. And I move to the beats of all reality, flipping quarters into a can for a man earning his living bag in garbage cans with his stick, barefoot with no shoes on his feet, raising change to purchase food to eat. I am a man, part of all men, and yes, I am one with lighter pigment, and yours is darker. But the painful truth is you have had to come farther than me. But the architect of society, well, see, he's designed burdens for all men to wear. And the blueprints are engraved on our chest as if necklaced by a tombstone, droned and cloned with carbon copy responses to problems. You see, and for me, well, that becomes too heavy for both you and me to even carry cooperatively. A black hole in the center of my chest is the vortex, converging, merging the retractions of all things in the universe. The Big Bang building slowly getting ready to explode. When it does, well, my attack won't be retractable. And the rage we felt as if Wolverine's blades were flying from my mouth, piercing you so that you can see in little pieces the inflictions you cause. Because the inhumanity of how men treat men is a travesty. We literally try to find the weakness of our brothers, and with our cohorts, we extort for our own benefit. It's bull. I don't care what color you are. I want to know you. My judgments run deeper than the hues created by mixing tubes of Winsor and Newton in glass jars. And I didn't get this far by reopening your scars and spilling your blood. But in the mirror, my white reflection becomes clearer than a bride's veil, unveiling that I am responsible for nailing both him and you to the crucifix. And therefore I'm not so perplexed that you wear the shroud, passing judgment upon everyone while ranting at the crowd about things that were done to you, because it is all true. And well, I have no idea what it's like to be you. But respectfully, you have no idea what it's like to be me. So when you're pressing the oppression button, please remember, my name's not Pontius Pilate. In other words, the persecution wasn't done by my hands personally, and I am not your enemy. And there is no amount of poetry that can change the fact that we can't rewrite history. And so regretfully, I am deeply sorry for the deeds done by my white brethren. But we are all brothers through blood, both alone and dead, and we grow stronger through bloodshed. Know this, even though I have not worn the same shackles or walked the same mile, I still have to tackle and break free of the shackles lashed upon me by society. And I will continually fight to be free for both you and me. And I do believe this can be achieved, albeit corny, through unity. And more importantly, that through the persecution of the one Son, which led to the risen, driven by the belief that the crucifix by which he was hung, it was for the salvation of all. The salvation of all. The salvation of all, not one. It had to be done. So we can either choose to divide and fight alone, my friends, or unite and overcome. Thank you.